Hello, 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 everybody. Let me angle the camera down a bit. Hi. I'm a little drowned out. Don't think I quite need quite as much light. So, hi, everybody. It's Tori from Avalon Enchanted. You're catching this on YouTube, so we definitely appreciate you watching our YouTube feed as well. I always bring you the Ascended Illuminations reading when I do them and put them on YouTube. Usually I do them on our Avalon Enchanted Facebook page, and then I transfer them over to YouTube. So this is a good opportunity to catch it if you are not catching it live, because I always like to try and add in a couple few things that I don't normally put into the Facebook feed. So it's a good chance that you're going to be able to hear or know something that you might not have known if you're catching it live. So just something to think about. Sometimes I'll introduce different specials and things like that here to see if people are paying attention. So anyhow, let me bring in our Facebook people and then we'll go ahead and get started. So this is the Ascended Illuminations reading with Tori for January 4th through January 10th, and also a look at 2024. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second because I'm trying to do multiple things here all at once. Let's see where I need to be. I need to be here. And I'm sure, like many other people, I talk to myself. Just an FYI. I'm going to put us right below here. All right, cool. So now I have Facebook, and this is going up to YouTube. So now I just need to share this on my personal page. So give me 1 sec. And we'll also wait for some people to come in. I'm actually really excited about this reading this evening. So lots of good stuff. I want to copy the link and I want to go into my personal page and I want to paste this now. All right, I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything started. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. I hope everyone had a nice holiday. I also hope everyone had a nice New Year's. It's hard to believe that it's already 2024. For those of you that are just joining in live, great. We're happy to have you. If you're joining in as a replay, please do hashtag replay. Same thing, do hashtag replay if you're catching this on YouTube as well. One of the things I also want to mention is that when I am doing the weekly readings and I share them with Cindy and I swap off every other week. So when I'm doing them, I'm also putting them up to YouTube. And so if you're not able to catch the live, definitely catch it on YouTube. Make sure that you click the bell on YouTube so you can follow all of the lives. When I drop them in, I actually record them and then drop them in, because sometimes there are things that I talk about on there after I get off with Facebook people, after I get off Facebook land, that are only on YouTube. So it's a good opportunity to check things out. So again, we're going to be doing the energy reading, this week's energy reading for 1/4 through 1/10. And then I'm also going to be looking at what energies are in store for 2024. We're going to be looking at it on a month-to-month type of basis. So as you're in the process of coming on, please say hey, let me know that you're here. Again, if you're catching this as a replay, please do hashtag replay. So tonight, I actually selected some cards which I haven't used in a while. So I'm actually excited about this. So I have my Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. I always like to make sure I share. These are by Judy Hall. I always like to share what types of cards I'm using. So that way, if people are interested, they know they can go ahead and purchase them. Hey, Angela. So first thing that I'm going to do is select 3 cards from the crystal deck, and that gives us our A, B, and C. All right. So we have Nirvana Quartz, one of my favorite. Nirvana Quartz. Nirvana Quartz is interesting because Nirvana is a regular type of quartz that was found relatively recently when the snow caps were basically receding in the Himalayas, and they found a really iron-rich, which is red, quartz underneath. And so that's how it became Nirvana Quartz, because it was from up in the Himalayas. We also have graphic smoky quartz. That's cool. I've never seen that one before. It looks like an Easter egg. Graphic smoky quartz. That's kind of cool. So that looks like it has smoky quartz and then what looks like white milky quartz mixed in. And then, oh, my favorite, Persephone Bluestone. One of my favorites. For those of you that are wondering why I'm giddy about Persephone Bluestone, it is because Persephone Bluestone is the stone that is used at Stonehenge. So you have to choose A, Nirvana Quartz, B, graphic smoky quartz, okay, or C, Persephone Bluestone, Stonehenge stone. So A, B, and C. These are the readings. So pick a stone, any stone. And that's going to be your reading this evening. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the reading for Nirvana Quartz. And then after, like I said, make sure you stick around because I'm going to be doing a reading for 2024. And that's going to be something we definitely want to look at because there's just so much going on in the world. There's so much going on energetically, and it's really important. So these tarot cards I'm actually using, you're going to laugh. These were one of my very first sets. And it's kind of a nostalgia thing. It's actually a regular Rider-Waite deck that my grandmother got me when I was, hey Karen, when I was young, like 12-ish, maybe even younger. Who buys their kids tarot decks when they're like 12 or tweens? Anyhow, my grandmother did. And this was it. And it's funny because now that I look at it, it has onks on it. It has onks on it. So, um, Karen, just to let you know, I just pulled the cards. We have 3 crystals to choose from this evening. The reading for A is Nirvana Quartz, the reading for B is Smoky Graphic Quartz, and the reading for C is Persephone Bluestone. Okay, so we're just starting out now and doing the reading for Nirvana Quartz, which is this stone. All right, so let's see what we got going on for people who choose A. So much has been going on. For me, I know I've been maybe a little quiet, but there's just been so much going on. So much going on at home, so much going on energetically, so much going on with the business that I've been really struck to work on creating. So it's been one thing after another, in order to try and generate some new things. Hey, Lisa. In order to generate some new things to launch, and there's some things coming. I know I launched the Sekhmet program, and we have some fun things up our sleeves for people that might be interested in that. I have that pinned on my personal Facebook page at Tori McNally. We are going to be having some special guests all the way from Luxor, Egypt. So going to be interesting. Who will be handling some of the history side of things. So let's talk about A. Interestingly enough, we definitely have the Eight of Swords, which is, it's really about just crisis and conflict, and however, crossing it is the Star card. So there's a lot of hope of working through the situation of what potentially might be going on. There is something to look forward to in terms of using your worldly powers and using your confidence. So that's something to really make sure that you are definitely um, you're using all of your tools in your toolbox is ultimately what I'm attempting to say. Um, some other things that we have going on here. We do have the Four of Wands, which is some new things coming in, which is great. Hopefully, it is fruits, things that you've been working on that you want to come in. But we also have the Seven of Swords, which is about new plans, wishes, fortitude, um, endeavors. So that's a good thing. What I'm going to say is make sure that you are really using your discernment and you're using your discretion. If there are some things that you're in the process of planning, if there's some things that you're in the process of launching, what I'm going to say is keep your mouth shut before you got everything squared away before you launch it. Okay. That's going to be something that's really important. Use your discernment, use your discretion. Um, there is you're definitely supported, so don't be afraid to tap into that level of support that is there behind you as your cheerleader. That's really important to mention as well. Emotionally though, we do have the Wheel of Fortune, which is always what I'm hearing in this case. It's a turn of the wheel. It's a what does the wheel have in store for you? You could either, so there's going to be a little bit of the universe controlling things. And also the Wheel of Fortune also means a new cycle beginning. So keep that in mind. But for me, in this particular type of reading, it's saying you may find that there's some things that are not necessarily fully in your control. So really have the ability to let go if when you need to, as well as allow the approach to unfold the way it's supposed to. Okay. Hey, Joellen. Some other things that are coming up for people who chose A, the Nirvana quartz. We do have the Two of Swords, which to me is always about making sure that you're staying in balance. It's always about making sure that you are um well, there's the need for harmony. And sometimes when we have the need for harmony, we do have to maybe trim away some things in order to allow ourselves to bring that in. Okay. So keep that in the back of your mind. Um, we definitely need to make sure that you're digging deep for people who choose A, in order to allow these new and wonderful things to unfold the way that they're supposed to. Again, make sure that you're using your discretion. Again, make sure that you're using your discernment, and be aware that there's going to be some cycles that are going for you, not only this week, but also pretty much throughout 2024. Okay. That's something to really take into consideration. But you're not walking this road alone. We have the Two of Cups. So, there's some new and exciting things coming in. But you're going to have to kind of take things slow. You're going to have to kind of start at the bottom and work your way up. So, what I'm going to say is build what it is that you're working on, or this partnership that you're potentially going to launch from the ground up, taking the time, being patient, and making sure that you're going from point A to point B to point C, and not from point A to point C and missing certain things. So it's like I'm being told, make sure that you're slowing things down so you're not forgetting steps. Because when you're forgetting steps, you're forgetting potentially something crucial that is really important, that needs to be in the mix on things that you're going to overlook. All right. So if you're starting something new, a new business or what have you, or new opportunities, it's great that you want to start to plan things, Just make sure that you're really going down the list and paying close attention of what you need in order to make that business or that partnership successful. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. So that is the reading for A. And you know, as I mentioned, Nirvana quartz is a newer type of crystal. It's actually a clear quartz that was found up in the Himalaya mountains. And as the Himalaya snow caps have been receding, they've been finding this iron-rich quartz. Iron meaning red. So many times it has a pinky red look to it, but it has a very high vibration. So you do have a lot of great, almost like angelic energy that is tied into it, or ascended master energy that's tied into it, and can be very, very helpful. It's just a lot, I'm going to say a lot higher spiritually wise than, say, traditional quartz, because it's more so tied in, I feel, with workings of some of the ascended masters and Shambhala, which technically is, I guess you could say, the clubhouse of the ascended masters that was or is in the Himalayas. So something to think about. So people who choose A, there's some great things coming in. Just remember, don't force things. Just remember that these new plans, take them slow. Don't miss your steps. Write everything down. Be methodical. The other thing is, don't run the mouth before it's fully launched or before it's fully whatever it is that you're bringing into fruition. Okay, so to keep that in mind. All right, so that is the reading for A, which is the Nirvana quartz. Let's do the graphic smoky quartz. This is graphic smoky quartz. This is graphic smoky quartz. So for those of you that are brand new on here, I also, when I do the readings, I also record it on Zoom, and then I upload it to YouTube. So for those of you, I usually don't do lives on YouTube simply because it's just a lot going on. But what I'm going to say is, if you miss it, you can always go to YouTube and catch the weekly reading. And 9 out of 10 times, I'm actually starting to really make sure that I'm putting in some content that's not necessarily going to be on just the YouTube, that's on just the Facebook page. So the YouTube that gets uploaded, it's going to have a little bit more content to it. So we want to try and start to mix things up. So please remember to like and hit the bell so you're alerted to when new things are posted, because I do try and post everything as quickly as I can. Like I said, sometimes I might mention the fact that there would be different sales or different specials going on, whether it be with readings or programs or even product in the studio. Sometimes it's talking a little bit about some of the energetics. Some of the times it's talking about some of the new things that are being launched that you just are not necessarily going to have the opportunity to see. It's like after the camera goes off on Facebook. So let's take a look at smoky quartz. I'm sorry, graphic smoky quartz. My bad. And again, stay tuned. I am going to do on here, not only on YouTube, but also on Facebook, a reading for 2024. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. So you may be finding, if you've chosen B or the graphic smoky quartz, that there's just a lot that's going on. Things are kind of at 6s and 7s. I have the 7 of Cups cards, which is usually about maybe having your head in the clouds, or you're just juggling or taking on too much, more than what you need to be focusing on. Okay. And it's kind of painted yourself into a little bit of a corner, because I have the 10 of Wands in front of above us, which is overburdened feeling, excessive pressures, problems that need to be resolved. So you kind of self-sabotage yourself. So make sure you're really careful with this, that you're not continuing to do that. Okay. We do have the Six of Swords, which is about moving away from some of the chaos and moving into overcoming difficulties, into clear sailing. So that is something that's a good thing. But it's one of those things where I feel that people who are picking the graphic smoky quartz or B, got to learn to say no. Uh, some ways of doing that are, I'm sorry, I have a lot on my plate, and if I try and take that on, I don't necessarily feel that I will be up to producing quite as well as I would like. Or just straight out, no, I can't do it. Again, I always remind people that we need to make sure that we are using our discernment. Is it in our highest and best? Do we want to do it? If that's the case, great. But in this case, people who choose B, smoky graphic quartz, you may find yourself that you really have to kind of strip away and prioritize this week. All right. Prioritize. You can certainly go back to it, but this week, there's just way more going on. All right. It's like if you don't, there's going to be a kaboom, and there's going to be something that's just going to derail you. All right. Literally 5 of coins, which is, as you know, the lost card. So there's warnings that maybe you've been seeing, or that you've been taking on too much. So this is almost like a call to action saying, hey, now's the time to really kind of try and slow things down if you can. Try and ask for help if you need to. Allow yourself the opportunity to be able to breathe, and don't feel like you have to do this all on your own, right? Some other things that are coming in. We have the Four of Swords, which is all about rest and recuperating. Again, it's the downtime that's needed. So people who are choosing B, the graphic smoky quartz, this is a real need, a real almost like picture of, if you don't slow down, if you don't prioritize and weed away what's not necessarily as important this week, you're gonna really kind of find yourself having that big kaboom that puts you out flat, and then you're no good to anybody. So you really do need to rest, you really do need to recharge, and so on. People who chose B, the graphic smoky quartz, may feel like they're just kind of stuck. And I almost feel like it's because over time you've always taken on things and have just kind of done them. Maybe not necessarily wanting to do them, but just be like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Add it to my pile. I'll do it. But this is going to be something that you're really going to have to kind of take a different viewpoint of, okay? It's interesting because the hangman many times is being stuck in a rut, can't get out of their own way. But it's also a reminder for us to look at things from different perspectives, okay? So keep that in mind. We also have the Knight of Cups, which is advancement, things coming in. Again, we're going to have to really make sure that we are keeping good track of what we're saying yes to and what we're agreeing to. So don't allow yourself to be, ask the questions. Don't just arbitrarily say, sure, no problem, I will do it. Because I think you're going to be biting off more than you can chew, and you're going to be the one paying the price for it in the long run. Okay, so that's something to think of. We also have the Ace of Wands. And I always remind people that wands are creative. They're fire. We like to light a fire under us in order to get those creative juices flowing, which is great. It's very innovative. It's the start of an undertaking. But again, you may find yourself having to kind of, like I said, strip away, what's not working for you. Strip away what you're not resonating with in order to bring in that new thing. Okay, so something's got to give in order for that other thing to come in, is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Okay. We also have the Six of Cups, which is past influences, nostalgia, longing for the past, memories. You know, there may be some things that you might be kind of that might come in. Maybe some people from your past might come in this particular week that you maybe haven't spoken with in a very long time. Maybe someone that you went to high school with or college with or what have you, or childhood friends. So just be aware that they may be opening the door. Question is, do you want that door opened or not? Especially with what everything else that you have going on. That's the thing to kind of take into consideration. If in the past they were someone that was in tune with you, a good influence, I'm going to use the phrase giver and taker, not just a taker, then that's fine. If they're going to suck the life out of you and be the leech that they were, then no, keep the door shut, because you got way more stuff going on than you can handle on top of a potential energy vampire, if ultimately is what it is. Okay, so that's something to think about. Yeah, you may find that you have some other friends that you kind of talk over with in order to kind of use as a sounding board to help you with everything going on. Okay, so don't be afraid to do that. That's going to be important. One of the things I want to mention about the materials within quartz, especially smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is very protective. Quartz is a very high vibrational energy. If I look and see, remind me, I'm doing this without my glasses, so please forgive me. 49. Uh, Hold on. Hold that thought. It's not a page number. Oh, for the love of God. Here it is. All right, cool. I found it. I found it. It supports the structures of the body, removes toxic debris and traumatic experiences and memories. It keeps you grounded and balanced in physical incarnation while exploring other dimensions. Self-understanding, lack of trust in yourself and other people creates psychological barriers. So it helps with your self-esteem. It helps create interesting. Memories of old traumas have subtly amended your ancestral DNA at a deep level, and you have been compressed and limited. Allow yourself to expand and regain, which is kind of like along the lines of what the Four of Swords does in terms of replenishment and solitude and things like that. So it's all about healing. It's all about making sure that you're being protected, offering yourself the gift of transformation. So you do have that ability. It's just one of those things where you just got to remind yourself to pace yourself. Okay. So that is what smoky quartz, I'm sorry, graphic smoky quartz is all about. So let's take a look at the Perseli Bluestone. And for those of you who might be wondering what that is, I'll show you the picture of it. So for those of you that know me, I have 1 foot in Egypt land and I have 1 foot in Celtic land. Perseli Bluestone is the stone that's used to make up Stonehenge. So it's actually mined in Wales. And it was brought hundreds of miles to the site of Stonehenge. And they are a little still unsure of how it actually arrived there. But there's also a lot in terms of waterways and things like that that were there thousands of years ago that definitely aren't there now. So if I were to focus on what the characteristics of Perseli Bluestone is, I'll read it to you right now. And it's a 33. We've got to love 33. Use natural medicine for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. Dig deep into the past. Access your memories and cut yourself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Find your own direction. Face challenges. It deals with ancient shamanic energy. It deals with multiple dimensions of healing. So that's kind of cool. So let's see what the reading is for the Porcelli Bluestone. So yeah, this has been definitely a busy week. For those of you that may not know, I was off the week between Christmas and New Year's. And did I get everything done that I wanted to? No. But I got some stuff done. So still working on making some transformations on some things. Let's take a look and see what we got going on. Okay, so we got the World card. Again, that is a cycle card. So that means that things are changing around us. You might find that there's some things that you may find that you know you need to make changes on. You probably have known that you've needed to make those changes on these things for a while, but maybe you've been putting those changes off. I'm not gonna lie, this week is a tower moment for you guys, right? I got the Tower card, which is all about sudden change, end of something. It could be a friendship, it could be something else. And I always like to remind people that Tower cards are not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes they are the motivation that we need in order to better ourselves and better our situation that we know we need to make, but sometimes we're afraid to make that leap. I also will many times mention that the tower card is kind of along the line of a snow globe. You shake it up, you have chaos, things settle down. Okay. So question is, with some of these changes that are coming about, you're going to find that these changes are going to bring maybe some feelings of feeling yourself outside of your comfort zone. And I feel like that's kind of where this is coming in at. So if you tend to be somebody that might be anxious, then this is going to be something that is going to be important to really pay attention to. And you're really going to need to make sure that you are doing whatever you need to do in order to help with your coping mechanism this week. Okay? So Angela says, Tower card sounds like a bad card. Is it meant to be bad? It's funny. I'm the only person that I know of that when I get the Tower card, the Death card, the Devil card, I kind of go, oh, good. You got to look at it from different viewpoints, Angela. If you're looking at it where there's all this chaos moving on around you and you can't get out of your own way, and the shit's going to hit the fan, then yes. If you look at it as a way of, okay, changes need to be made. This is allowing me to make these changes, whether they be self-imposed or they're imposed on us, then I would look at it like that. So it's not necessarily a bad card, but it's a card where you know that there are changes coming. So if you find yourself being someone that's very much a creature of habit and you're afraid to kind of wander outside of your comfort zone, then yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, not gonna lie. But allow yourself to kind of look and see what your triggers are. Take some time to kind of see what it is that's causing these potential anxieties or these issues, or why these changes need to potentially happen. Because sometimes we look at change as something that happens to us as bad, but down the road, sometimes we look at things as, okay, I get it. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually something that is something that's good. So I wouldn't necessarily be scared of it, Angela. I would just kind of look at it as a way of knowing that there may be something that shakes up, and it may push you outside of your comfort zone, but to use what your tools in your toolbox to help you work through things, and just realize that not all change is a bad thing. Okay? That's kind of how I would view it. So we do have the 10 of Cups, which is all about it's usually, I call it the happy family card. And that is usually a card where everything is clicking, everything is coming together. Home, abode, happiness, joy, pleasure, and so on. Which is all great. Those are the things that we want, right? We want to have happiness and joy, and have a happy outlook on of our lives, and how we see ourselves, right? Um, you may find that this is definitely what you want. I am seeing, though, the devil card. And so the devil card is usually about, again, being stuck in a rut, can't get out of your own way. Sometimes it's about addiction, not gonna lie, but I don't necessarily feel in this particular case it's that. I think it's more so of you need to look at things at different angles in order to change your perspective, and in order to elicit the change that you want to make, So sometimes when we identify ourselves as being stuck and complacent on things, then, we know we need to make some changes. So keep that in mind. The good news is that we have the Six of Swords. So people who chose Priscilla Bluestone, that is going out of the choppy water into the clear sailing. So from what I'm seeing here, there is the potential of happiness. There is the potential of wanting certain things, making maybe changes in your life that you know that you want to make. Um, Angela, it's okay. Take a breath. It's okay. My point is, it may very well be that the change, here's the thing, when we're opening up and change is coming in, change can really kind of turn ourselves upside down, but sometimes it's needed. Sometimes it's really for the best in terms of helping us grow as a person, to help us grow as a magical person, to help us grow as an individual, as a professional, and so on. So I think that this is more so a warning in terms of just allowing yourself to not be complacent. Okay? Not be complacent, but to really take things by the hand, grab the bull by the horns, and allow yourself the opportunity to develop your energy for the 10 of Cups. Like I said, that is all about happiness and home and joy. So, work on creating your happiness. Could very well be that maybe you're not 100% happy, and some of these things crop up as a way of saying, hey, fix them. Hey, you can fix this. But we're afraid to take that step outside of our little box to do it, when we know we can, but maybe we just don't trust ourselves. So my point is, it's definitely doable. It's definitely something that I think you're going to find that it's going to make you stronger and happier in the long run. We do have the Two of Wands, which for me is always, okay, what direction do I go in? I always think of the Wizard of Oz, with the two, with the scarecrow. So I think that you're going to find that you're going to have, I'm going to call it a come to Jesus moment. And you're going to find yourself saying, okay, do I want to stay in the same course, even though I'm not necessarily fully happy with it? Or do I want to venture out and see what else is out there that will really be something more of what I want to do, more of who I want to be, what I want to try. So I would look at it that way. So you're going to have a choice, all right? And I would say just give yourself the opportunity to not necessarily just cut off anything outside of your box. Give it some thought, okay? Ooh, hot flash. We also have the Seven of Cups. Again, that is all about daydreaming, head in the air, too many things going on. So in this case, I'm gonna say, don't overthink things. All right, don't overthink things. We also have the Knight of Wands, which is all about advancement into the unknown. So to me, this is kind of giving us an idea of, okay, what direction do I go in? Do I stay the course or do I go off on a new direction? To me, this is kind of saying, okay, let's explore those other directions in order to see what's out there and in order to give us the joy that we need. We do have the Five of Coins, which is not the best card. It is a card of I almost feel like this is going to be part of a self-sabotage thing. You know, usually for the Five of Coins is about loss of money or abundance or so on. But in this case, you may find that it's a direction that you need to go in order to allow yourself to be who you want to be and where you want to get to. Okay. If I pull another card, I have the Ten of Coins, which is a great card. It's all about abundance. It's all about family and security and things like that, and ancestry and so on. So to me, that's saying that there may be some things that you might maybe are upset about or sad about from that choice. But in the long run, it's going to be much more it's going to be a much better direction for you. Like I said, the Ten of Pentacles is the money card. Things are good, things are great. It's kind of like the equivalent of the Ten of Cups. So what I'm going to say is just know the universe has your back, and it's okay to explore and find those new avenues. Okay. So that is the Priscilla Bluestone. So, like I was saying, I record this reading, which I then send up to YouTube, and I do also usually have different things on the YouTube that might not necessarily appear on the Facebook page, just an FYI. I wanted to do the reading for 2024. So let me go ahead and shuffle. And I wanted to kind of take things month by month because there's so much going on energetically right now that this is something I feel is really important. I feel like we have, good God. Okay, so we have Ukraine, we have the Middle East, we have the elections. I mean, there's just so much going on. And I feel like there's a lot going on energetically that's coming into the planet. I mean, if I would say go back to my 12/12 video where I was talking about some of the different things that were coming up from 12/12 to January 1st. There are all these different portals and all these different things. And, you know, some of the things that I brought up have definitely already happened. You know, I had said seismic activity around the Ring of Fire. Guess what? And I said I was seeing fire. Guess what? Hey there, Patty. So, there's stuff that I feel that's going to happen within the year that is going to be for good. And I also feel like sometimes that there is some stuff that's going to happen this year that's going to be a challenge for a lot of people. I also feel like over the last, how many of you have noticed the number of people that, especially going into like the week of Christmas, the number of people that lost pets or people? I do feel like there's going to be more people checking out, or more, I'm going to say, souls checking out. Okay, just an FYI. Question is, Why? So while I'm in the process of putting down the cards, I'm just going to do a little bit of talking here, so bear with me. January, we have some great things coming up. We have a Crystals 101 class on the 12th. So you can actually purchase your ticket right on Eventbrite for all of our events. Cindy's doing a Protecting Your Energy class on the 13th. I'm also doing table tipping on the 19th there, from 7 to 9. And then I'm also doing crystal gridding on the 27th. I'm also going to be doing a Brigid ceremony or an Imbolc ceremony, which is bringing in the early spring. It's a Celtic festival that is usually done on February 2nd, but I'm going to be doing it on the 30th and working with the energies of Brigid, the goddess Brigid. February, we have a lot of great stuff coming up. And I know, are you still on, Karen? If you are, just let me know. Because Karen is actually going to be doing a really awesome class that I'm really excited about. She's going to be teaching a Feng Shui 101 class, which is really awesome because it gives you the opportunity to really get a true idea of A, what Feng Shui is, B, how you can Feng Shui your home, your office, your personal magical space, to help you be more be more in the energy, to help be more productive, to help if it's like a business type of space, to bring in more money and so on. So Karen is really, really talented when it comes to coming up with creative ways of teaching. So I really encourage you to definitely check out Karen's class. It's actually going to be at the studio on Saturday, February 10th from 6:30 to 8:30. And we have spots that are limited, so definitely go and book on purchase your ticket on Eventbrite, okay? I'm really looking forward to that because Karen brings up a lot of great information about how it can really change the quality of your life and change the quality of your space and to bring in the magical energy to welcome, because that's also the start of the Chinese New Year. So 2024 is the year of the dragon. So for Chinese New Year, which starts on February 10th, that's a great way of kicking off Chinese New Year, ushering in the year of the dragon, and using that dragon energy to help us with what we want to manifest into our lives. Okay, so that's something I want to mention. I'm also going to be hosting a Valentine cacao ceremony on February 11th. More table tipping. Cindy's going to be teaching an Awaken the Empath. So that's basically a class about people who are just experiencing some of the awakening, I'm going to call them symptoms, people who are just becoming in tune with energy and opening up. So this is a good way. She's really good at teaching people who are just starting to come into their own and try and figure out why they're feeling this way. What does it mean? What does this ride look like? So she's really great at that. Then I'm also teaching 2 other things in February, which I'm actually really excited about. I'm teaching a root chakra paint night class. So what we're going to do, hey, Charlie, what we're going to do is have a series of paint night classes, either one a month or one every other month. And they're going to be a different chakra each time. Okay. And what that's going to do is we're going to do a meditation to focus on that particular chakra. We're going to talk about the importance of that chakra, and we're going to really bring that energy in, which you then can paint. And the idea is you can start to then use that energy from what you painted into your space, which you've just feng shuied. And start to really balance your energy. Angela, the good thing to know is that The studio is, let's see, to Wickford from the Uxbridge area. The studio is actually about 35, 40 minutes away. So it's not that bad of a drive. It's all, 146 to 295 and then heading up to Route 4. And it's really not a bad drive. So, and it's a pretty area. So, yeah, where was I? So that is about the paint night. So we're going to start with the root chakra paint night, which I'm really excited about. And then I'm going to be teaching a really fun class on Hathor. And that is going to be something that is going to be really great because she's an Egyptian goddess, and she's the goddess of love and passion and drinking and debauchery and fun stuff like that. So we're going to be bringing in some of that energy, but she also connects with Sekhmet, who, as a lot of you know, I work with quite regularly. So that's something to think about. So Woonsocket's even a little bit closer, so that's great. So Angela is saying, I've done a chakra paint night. It was my first ever class at a touch of match. Oh, good. Good to know. All right, so let's take up. That's just the cat being a spaz, trying to see what's in the bag, literally. And he got his head caught in the bag. So. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we got going on for 2024. Actually, I didn't do this right. I want to do something different. I'm still doing the 2024. I just want to do a different spread. So bear with me. So I just need to shuffle. Yeah, MapQuest is not that bad. It's really not a bad ride, Angela. It's really not a bad ride. And it's Saturday night from 6:30 to 8:30. So it's a simple ride. It's in Wickford Village, which, if you've ever been to Wickford Village, is really pretty. It's going to be kind of the village is quiet, especially at night. So it's not a crazy area to get in and out of or anything like that. So all right, 2024. Let's see what we got. So we're going to start out with January. January brings us the Ten of Wands, which is always about being overburdened, excessive pressures, problems soon to be resolved, efforts to meet a goal, possibly using power for selfish ends. So, January, there's a lot of energy that's coming in that a lot of us are maybe feeling. And I really feel like there's just going to be stuff that kind of comes to an head ahead in January with some of the stuff that's going on. So you may feel like you're just kind of overburdened and pressured on things, and that's a request for your soul to say, hey, let's lighten your load a little bit. You've taken on too much. Let's see what we can pare down. All right. If I pull another card, there's my Rhode Island accent. There's the Page of Coins, which is deep concentration and application. It's also about reflection. So it may force you to kind of think about what you're really doing. Are you taking on too much? Are things coming at you like this? And I do feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes at us like this, especially in January. I mean, look, it's already what, the 4th. We've had an earthquake in Japan. We had the plane that caught fire in Japan. We had another earthquake in China. We have everything that's going on, not only, like I said, in Ukraine and also in the Middle East, but there's a lot of stuff, of energy that is coming up. I almost feel like some of it's kind of coming up through the ground as well. Some of it's also coming in. We've had a lot of major solar flares. So of course we're feeling this energy. Of course we're feeling over burdened and not knowing quite which end is up, because everyone is feeling this energy. It's chaotic, right? So I pulled another card and I got the Ten of Coins, which is things do start to kind of settle down and things do start to turn. So I think that you have the ability of changing, your course of action, and you have free will. So keep that in the back of your mind. Let's take a look and see what February has to offer. Okay, Two of Cups. So February, as we know, is the month of love, hence Hathor. Um, it's also about beginnings or renewed renewed new beginnings, etc. Passion, union, engagement. You may find that there's some new projects that you're going to be working on. Could also be that there are going to be some people coming into your life. It could very well be business. It could very well be romantic. But I do feel like there's also going to be more people coming in together to maybe try and start to kind of focus on getting a better handle on what's going on with the energies. Okay, with the fact that January is such a chaotic energetic month, February people are starting to identify things and they're starting to kind of say, okay, let's work on this together. Again, they're being forced to make decisions. Okay, again, the Two of Swords. What direction do I go in? Do I continue focusing on the chaos that's going on around me, or do I focus on where I want to go and what I want to be doing? Okay, that's something to think about. If I pull another card, we have the Four of Swords, which again is about taking a step back, solitude, replenishing your energy, replenishing your strength. Also having some time for yourself in terms of mental clarity, spiritual clarity. I do feel like there are going to be more people that are opening up, which is why Cindy's class on awakening the empath is so great, which is on Sunday, the February 18th. People who are experiencing a lot of these symptoms of an awakening, they're not quite sure how to go about doing things. So you may find that this downtime is something that you need to rest, relax, recharge. So February is going to be about re's, all right? And what I mean by is rest, recovery, relax, recharge, in order to be able to work through everything. And it's about choices that you make, okay? What choice are you going to purposely make to help you work through all this? March, we have the King of Wands, who is all about, again, wands are fiery, wands are very creative. I feel like there's going to be a stream of consciousness coming in that's going to really require us to that's going to wake a lot more people up. It may very well kind of tip some people off into feeling that there's just way too much going on. But I also feel it's going to tip some people into experiencing this cosmic awakening that has started, but I feel like more is going to be coming in, all right, for March. I have the Chariot, which is about energy moving forward and making sure that you are allowing yourself the opportunity to be doing it in balance. Okay, so that's something to think about. Taking another card, the Fool, beginning of an adventure. You have some great doors that are going to open for you in March. Question is, are you going to walk through them? Or are you just going to stand there and be like, oh my God, there's a door in front of me. I don't know where it goes. I don't know what to do. Or are you going to be like, cool, a door. Let's see what this is all about. We're going to use our intuition. We're going to use our discernment about it, for lack of a better word, stranger danger. But this is something that I feel there are going to be doors that are opening for people, spiritually speaking. April, we got the Hermit. All about solitude. It's all about going within. When I get the Hermit card, many times I focus on the idea of shadow work, shadow self, taking a step at looking at ourselves inward and getting us to a point where we can identify what we need to work on, what we need to maybe make some changes on, what are some of the triggers that what are some of the things that we've had happen in our lives that have caused triggers to kind of put us into an emotional turmoil. Working through those triggers, identifying them, allowing ourselves to forgive ourselves, and then turn it into something that's useful for us to grow from. It is important. April is all about the spring coming in. It's about new beginnings. It's about, usually we have Easter in April, usually, and I think it is in April of this year now as well. So there's a lot for us to process. It's about what you're going to be processing things, okay? But I am going to say you want to make sure that you don't get so deep into your own head that you're missing out on things. You don't want to go, hermit mode, and miss out on certain things. Again, here's the 2 wands. What direction do I go in? Again, it's identifying our choices and determining what path is for our highest and best. Okay, so there are going to be some things that you might find about yourself that are going to open up for the month of April, that are going to be on the heels of you doing some retrospection of your darker self. Okay. And pulling another card, I got the 10 of Cups, which is about happy family and peace and happiness and joy. When we are able to really do our own shadow work, even though it can be very tough and it's not just a one and done type of thing, it's definitely something that is very rewarding and allows us to get on the other side a much stronger and better prepared person, whether it be magically, whether it be just emotionally. So that's some things to think about. So keep that in mind. So January, February, March, April. So let's look at May. You guys ready for May? Okay, so May is the Devil card. Again, stuck in a rut, bondage, downfall, lack of success. What I'm feeling is that there's going to be some things that go on in the month of May that may cause some issues. How do I say this? There's going to be more poop that hits the fan that's going to cause us to kind of reconsider different things of what's going on. Does that make sense? Question is, are you going to allow yourself to be continuing to be kind of stuck in that loop, or are you going to work on getting yourself out of it? That's the big thing to think of with the Devil card. But yeah, I just feel like there's going to be some stuff that goes on in the month of May. But you do have the ability to work through it and to get to the other side of it. There are going to be some difficulties, but it's going to require you overcoming those difficulties. So I almost feel like it may very well potentially be the political climate, not going to lie. I also feel like, energetically speaking, there's going to be waves of energy that comes into the planet. And this is going to be one of those waves this particular month. So it's like you have a wave and things get better. You have a wave and then things get better. All right. That's kind of what I'm seeing with 2024 as I've been doing some of these special readings. 7 of Cups, 7 of Cups is one of those things where make sure your head's not in the clouds. Make sure you're not thinking of things from an unrealistic point of view. You're definitely going to need to make sure that your imagination and your dreams are going to be very, very critically important, which is great. But don't be stuck in that, I'm going to call it la la land. Okay. Don't be stuck in that la la land. You're going to make sure that you need to really be grounded and anchored, because we have the Tower card. So it leads to a change. But we're going to be focusing on overcoming obstacles. So you may find that the month of June is a little bit of a push and pull. Okay. We have these push and pulls for a reason, to help us better ourselves, to help us work through some of our stuff that goes on. Um, I am also hearing that there's going to be some stuff literally blowing up. So just be aware of that. I almost feel like it has to do with some of the stuff that's going on right now, um, tied to the Middle East, or possibly even tied to here in the United States. All right. So just be aware of that. Um, let's take a look at July. So it's interesting. July is the screw it, I'm out of here. And the Queen of Swords. So what I'm going to say for July is use your intuition. And you may find that there are things where you literally are just like, okay, I need to change this. I need to physically pick myself up and move and get out of this energy. Okay. So keep that in mind for July. Pulling another card, I have the High Priestess. She's somebody that she has common sense. She kind of hides things. She knows what she wants. She knows she definitely can be a little bit of a magical being. But again, it comes down to using your discernment and using your energies and trusting your gut, okay? With this particular energy. It may very well be that you find yourself kind of shifting around and figuring out who to trust after those tower moments that happened in June. So let's take a look at August. So August is the Three of Wands. It's all about strength. It's all about enterprise. It's all about, so again, more strength with the Knight of Swords. So you may find that there's some things that go on in August, but what I'm going to say is don't rush to judgment or have knee-jerk reactions on how you react to A, what the situation is, and B, what your options are. Also, don't settle. Don't settle, but just know that you may be finding yourself kind of wanting to kind of make a quick decision on something. But trust your gut. There is stability through this by working through this process. So let's take a look at September. September is the Seven of Coins, which is literally putting your time in, literally starting from the bottom and working your way up. It deals with money, it deals with success, it deals with wealth, recognition, results of our efforts. So what I'm going to say is with September, be patient on things. I almost feel like it's going to tie in with just the way things are going to go the next well, realistically, the next 10 months, and I think you guys, no, 11 months, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's almost like we're going to be kind of just bombarded with all sorts of stuff that comes out. And it's going to make us really kind of decide, okay, what can we do in order to kind of help build where we want to be and what we want to do. I almost feel like it has to do with people just kind of taking ownership of a reintroduction to how they want to see things work as a planet. So it could tie in definitely some of the it could tie in definitely some of the conflicts that are going on, but it could also tie in some of the literally how some of these things are working. I feel like there's going to be some stuff going on in Europe where there are going to be changes of how they do things. Three of Cups, resolution to a problem. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I feel like there's going to be some stuff that happens that I think people are going to find themselves finally saying, okay, we've had enough. We need to kind of figure out a process that is good for the planet, is good for the people of the planet. King of Swords. I feel like there's I feel like there's going to be something that goes on with Elon Musk in September. Um, and I feel like there's going to be stuff that is going to cause him to kind of miss the mark on some things. I also feel like there's something up with having to do with space. I don't know if it has to do with the timetable of the mission to the moon or mission to Mars, but there's something having to do with space and moving. There's something. It's kind of like he's even though he's all about progress, he's hard to work with. He's hard to pin down. So I almost feel like there are going to be some things that pop up having to do with him kind of sitting on the sidelines, but something having to do with either the moon or Mars. All right, let's look at November. I'm a little afraid, not gonna lie. Oh, I'm sorry, October. October is accomplishment, discernment, discretion. Again, we'll be going into election. So to me, this is you doing your homework and feeling that, ultimately doing what you feel is right. Accomplishment, but discernment pops up. Cautious exploration pops up. So, Eight of Swords is all about crisis, conflict, domination, imprisonment, turmoil. So I do feel like there's going to be some things that pop up in September. I'm sorry, October, that are going to be kind of moving in, especially here in the United States, that are going to be kind of moving into the real, I guess you could say the last the crunch time of the election season for November. I feel like there's going to be things that come up. I feel like there's going to be more stuff that's dug up on Mr. T. And I also feel like there's going to be more stuff that comes to light on some of the stuff that goes on within our houses of government. And that's how I'm going to phrase it as that, because I don't want the YouTube algorithms to bump me off. Okay. Star card. having faith, inspiration, bright prospects. All right, looking at November. Six of Coins, generosity, kindness, gratification, material gain, sharing of wealth. Usually that's a philanthropic card, but I'm not necessarily feeling that that's how it's coming across. We have the Magician, um, which is usually somebody that sometimes I view him more like a used car salesman, not always telling the truth. A little bit of a wheeler dealer, has a lot of enthusiasm, can be creative, good salesman, ingenuity, a little bit of deception or trickery. So I almost feel like there's going to be stuff that comes out where some stuff having to do with people's good nature is either misconstrued or manipulated. Death card, transformation, clearing away the old, making way for the new, altercation, abrupt change. That one, again, I mean, I know that Angela, when we were talking about the Tower card and talking about the some of the other cards like the Devil card and so on, those are about abrupt change, or some of the cycle cards like with the wheel and so on. The Death card is the end of something, but it also means that something new is beginning. Justice, fairness. I feel like there's going to be some interesting things to watch when it comes to November, um, and some of the political climate that's going on. I think there's also going to be some things that are opening up, and I mean, stories opening up and blowing open, having to do with maybe some other um, high level leaders that are not in the US that are going to find that they are finding themselves on the other side of, they may be pushed out. How is the best way to describe it? They may be pushed out. And I don't mean bumped off or anything like that. I mean pushed out of office or pushed out of leadership. Okay. So I feel like that's going to be something that happens. And I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a scramble in order to accommodate some of that. Let's look at December. King of Cups. Responsibility, creativity, professional businessman, lawyer, religious person, scientist, artist. We have the Knight of Coins, mature and responsible person, reliable person, patience, persistence, ability to conclude a task, laborious organization. Two of Coins, difficulty in launching new projects. Difficult situations arise. Nine of Swords, anxiety. I usually call that the headache card. Um, Nine of Wands, expecting difficulties. So I feel like December is going to be a challenge that people are going to find um, is also tying in with the likes of the economy. So I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be a huge challenge. Um, it's interesting because I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that opens up in 2024 about some of the different connections and things like that are connecting some of these world leaders. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that definitely opens up having to do with Saudi Arabia and some of their relationships with some of the other nations. I also feel like there's going to be some great things that come in that are going to be fantastic when it comes to the likes of working with critical illness and so on, and finding new ways of resolving critical illness, that are going to be kind of along the lines of like medical breakthroughs. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be some type of major, cure to the big C, or if it's going to be something tied to something else, but there's going to be something that comes in that is going to help with healing that is on not only a cellular level, but is also on, um, energetically speaking, a frequency level. Okay. So that's going to be something that is going to be coming forward. I still think we're going to have continue to have a number of big earthquakes. I think there's still some sort of big fire that I'm seeing. And I almost feel like there's going to be something down in South America, or Brazil, like with the rainforest type of deal. I feel like there's going to be more that kicks up with that. Um, what else? Don't be surprised if there's something big that happens either at or around Mount Shasta. There's something about that area, energetically speaking, that I feel is going to kick off a lot of stuff. Question is, I don't know if it's going to be something having to do with the actual terrain, or if it's going to be some type of strange energetic anomaly. Haven't kind of fully tuned into that, but there's something with that. What else? Um, I do feel like there's going to be something with the fall that ties in with the likes of the world economy. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just kind of throwing that out there, as there may be something that I tend to feel it kind of has to do with maybe some of the climate that's going on here in the US, with some of the craziness that's going on that spills over and affects the international economy. Okay. It's going to be like volatile markets. Things are kind of going up and down. But I do feel that there are going to be a lot more people that are going to be in tune to energy. A lot more people are going to be opening up and be um, answering the call, so to speak, in terms of waking up to the energies of things. So what I'm going to say with that is, if you know somebody that is in the process of waking up, or if it's you that's in the process of waking up, I recommend finding a community that can help guide you, that can help give you ideas how to work through some of these ascension symptoms. Because there's a lot that I think that sometimes people might feel like, oh my gosh, this is all new. I don't know why this is happening to me. But I do feel like when you find other like-minded people, it makes that whole process or that whole transition easier. What else? Um, I'm hearing that there's going to be something with a lost sub. Not sure why, not sure what country, but there's something with a lost sub. I've been having a lot of crazy dreams, but I can't seem to remember. Not surprised. Vivid dreaming, lucid dreaming is one of the ascension symptoms. that happens. I would recommend trying to keep maybe a journal next to your bed. So if you do wake up, you can jot it down at least, or talking to your phone. That's really helpful. Um, I also feel there's something big that's going to happen that's going to change. I almost want what I'm hearing is blowing the doors off of having something having to do with the Catholic Church. I don't know what that means. Just the microphone, folks. But something is going to blow the doors off of the Catholic Church. I don't mean like literally. I think that it's just going to be something information wise, or a whole change of how they view things or how they do things differently. Hey, Jane, that may vary, that is going to potentially come about from all of this energy opening up. I still feel like there's going to be even more disclosure going on. No worries, Jane. I still feel like there's going to be a lot of disclosure about ET stuff. Um, and I'm feeling like there's going to be more people coming forward about it that is going to link it to not just, hey, there's something out there, but it's going to be, hey, the US or whatever country is actually working with whatever's out there. So I feel like that's going to be something that's going to come to light, or it's going to start to come to light. Okay. So don't be surprised by that. What else? I am a little concerned about Hong Kong. Um, I'm hearing that there are going to be some things that are a little bit concerning about what's going on in Hong Kong. So if you have friends or family there, I would try and get them out sooner rather than later. What else? Hearing something about A Course in Miracles. Not sure why. I almost feel like there's going to be things that come about, sightings or miraculous things that happen that are going to come about and be highlighted and touted as a course of miracles. So I feel like that's going to be something that comes about soon. I'm feeling something having to do more so with the spring, though. Connecting. That's why I'm quiet. I think that the Ring of Fire is going to be volatile for a good part of 2024, probably into 2025. And there's going to be something with, I feel, probably a big tsunami. I don't know if it's Japan or if it's going to be Australia, but there's something with a big tsunami warning. I don't know if it has to do with something that starts the kinetic energy starting with it's like a an earthquake, but there's something with a big, I'm seeing a big wave of water. Um, so now that I've touted all the doom and gloom, I am going to say that there are some things that I think are going to be very productive and are going to be good. like the healing, the healing things that are going to be coming out, the possibilities of some certain cures are going to be happening. Um, the Course in Miracles. So I feel like those things are definitely great that are going to be taking shape in 2024. More disclosure, like I said, with some of the extraterrestrial stuff. I feel like there's a good part though of um individuals in the world that are not open to it and are what I'm hearing is going to take it the wrong way. So just be advised by that. I also feel like we're still going to have a number of really large solar flares, especially for probably the first 3 or 4 months of 2024. I know they started in 2023, but I do feel like there's going to be more of those. So you may see a little bit of a scrambling of some of the different services that we might use or things might go offline. It's because of that. But I also feel like there's something having to do with the scientific community that is using some of these waves of energy that are coming into the planet. So there may be some things that are knocked out that are not necessarily tied to these solar flares, but they're going to say that they're tied to some of this stuff. So my point is, don't always believe what they say with some of that. Okay. I think that is it. One last thing before I leave. I know I talked a little bit about some of the stuff that's coming in for January and February. Paint nights, table tipping, feng shui class. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. Bridget ceremony, Crystals 101. So there's a lot. Definitely go to Eventbrite and make sure that you like and follow and share our stuff. So that way you are in the know of when things are released. Also, check out the different videos on YouTube. It's under Tori McNally because I post a lot of stuff on there. All of these readings actually get posted on there. And as I was saying to people who do watch the YouTube videos, for those of you that are on Facebook, there are things that I put into the YouTube videos that are not always on the Facebook videos. So check those out. All right, folks, one last thing I want to show you, and I'm really excited about this. This arrived yesterday. So this is, so for those of you that might remember, I had one really crappy week where I think I broke 2 Sekhmet statues and I was on the verge of tears. So moving heaven and earth, Mark was able to get me this, which arrived yesterday. So yeah, she's really pretty. She's heavy. She's super heavy. But she's hand carved. And really excited about her. I love the face on her. Love the face on her. Very, very detailed and really, really nice energy too. So I'm really excited about working with her in particular. So next week Cindy is doing the Ascended Illumination reading. She'll probably do it on the 11th, or that's when she's scheduled. Oh, thank you, Patty. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I'm really excited by her. She came all the way from Egypt yesterday, and boy, are her arms tired. Sorry. So yeah, so I'll be working with her um moving forward. So anyhow, Facebook peeps, thank you. Uh I really appreciate you following us, and also listening to some of the different predictions and things that are coming up for 2024. We really appreciate all of the love and support that people have given Avalon Enchanted over the year of 2023. It's been a year of a lot of movement. It's been a year of a lot of ups and downs. But I feel like we're definitely making a lot of great progress. And we hope to be offering a lot more cool stuff coming up, not just classes, but also types of services and things like that. So check us out. Check out Facebook. Check out Instagram. Check out YouTube, etc. Eventbrite, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye. So again, I'll be heading over to YouTube. This video will be going over to YouTube shortly. All right, so let me just never delete this. Okay. So yeah. What I wanted to do is talk more about this. I actually was able to procure this through a friend of mine who was able to find a carver and ship it to me, which Mark got me for Christmas. And I'm really excited by it because the face on her is just absolutely amazing. For those of you that might not know, I'm actually really picky about my Sekhmet faces. Um, I remember being in Egypt, and the poor guys that were at the place that we were at that I was doing some buying at was like, hey, how about this one? I'm like, no. How about this one? No. And finally it got to the point where I'm like, no, she's too girl. And the guys are like, okay, whatever, Tori. So that was interesting. But the neat part is, honestly, I know this is kind of a hard angle. She matches really well, detail wise. She matches really well, detail wise, I'm telling you. So um that part is really cool. And I'll be doing some stuff with her actually um very shortly. But what I wanted to talk about is a thank you for people that are supporting us, Cindy and I, not only online, but also in person. People who are coming for readings, whether they be walk-in readings, whether they be scheduled readings or healings, whether they be coaching clients, and or people attending some of our different events and things that are going on in the village. We really appreciate that. So as a way of saying thank you for that, what we're going to be all doing, I'll catch Cindy up shortly. What we're going to be doing is hosting people who catch this. We'll be hosting a month-long I guess you could call it AE Love Fest, Avalon Enchanted Love Fest, where we're going to be offering a percentage off of our readings and also off of our one-on-one coachings and healings. So if that's something that you're interested in learning about, definitely reach out to me or reach out to Cindy. Like I said, I'll catch her up to speed shortly. But we want to really um, let our people know who are interested in utilizing our services or utilizing our talents for different events or helping them out with the coaching process. We want to be able to give back to them as well. So that's going to be something that we're going to be doing. So 25% off services for the month of February, um, whether it be online or in person. Okay. We are also going to also offer, if people are catching this, let us know. Drop us a line saying that you saw the video on YouTube and send us your email and we will enter you into a drawing prize. So this is a good opportunity where by you watching these videos that we are doing on YouTube that are not necessarily seen on Facebook, you're actually going to have the opportunity to get more, I like to call them Easter eggs, or special events or special offerings that people on Facebook might not necessarily get the chance to see or take the time to see, especially if they're not catching them on YouTube. So again, 25% off of services for the month of February. And let us know that you caught all of this on YouTube by giving us your email address, and that will enter you into a drawing for a $100 gift certificate that you can use any way you want, whether it be product, whether it be a service, whether it be a reading, whether it be a couple of slots in a class. You can use it that way. So let us know. And if you stuck through all of this, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great evening. Okay, I have some things that I need to finish editing because I know I have some things that I'm in the process of launching. Like I said, I just relaunched the SecNet class, I should say the SecNet training, which has some really great things in it, including some guest appearances by a dear friend of mine who is in Luxor, Egypt. And he's actually going to be working with some of the classes, with some of the history and some of the things that he's experienced while being in some of these temples and tombs that relate to the likes of Sekhmet and Hathor and so on. So stay tuned. There's also some other things that I'm working on as well, which I'm not quite ready to take the wraps off yet, but stay tuned. And have a fantastic day, night, morning, whenever you're seeing this. Take care. Bye.